Hello and welcome to Ageless Rock. Let's put on the megalithic lens and check out this megalithic site with megalithic perspective. This site is in Kidron Valley in Jerusalem. It is called Bnei Hezir. It is neither big nor famous, but it is definitely mysterious to me. Mount Olive is definitely a place we need to further investigate with megalithic lens because this part of Israel is full of megalithic monuments we have no clue. If something is awesome, then it is hard to forget. If it is extremely awesome, then it is extremely hard to forget. We should not have to wonder who was here first. Bnei Hezir tomb is located between Absalom's tomb and Zechariah's tomb. They are all facing Temple Mount, the holiest site for Judaism, Catholic, Christianity, and Islam. Despite the fact that four religions look at this as a tomb, archaeologists are not 100% sure if this is the case. Bnei Hezir tomb can also be simply known as Tomb of the Sons of Hezir. Despite the work needed to be done, we actually don't know anything until 1864. There is an obscure inscription on top of the facade that links to the family of Hezir. On top of the facade, there is an inscription that says, "This is the tomb and the nephesh, which is soul of Eliza, Hananiah, Joseph, Judah, Simeon, Johanan, sons of Joseph, son of Obed, and Joseph and Eliza, sons of Hananiah, Kohanim of Hezir family." But these are not the names mentioned in the Bible verse that links to the biblical Hezir. So based on that, archaeologists conclude that this cave was carved out 2,200 years ago by Hezir family for their sons. However, the inscriptions are suspiciously flimsy and not awesome chisel work compared to the enormous amount of hacking they had to do. I am sure the inscription could have easily been 100 times better, clearer, and more impressive if the entire cave was carved out for a tomb. From the inscription, I made a simple family chart and I'm assuming Obed, Joseph, and Hananiah were filthy rich. They must have paid a good sum of money to provide unlimited bronze chisels to workers to smack a hole in the bedrock for 8 sons. But where are the tombs for Joseph, Obed, and Hananiah? Where is the tomb for Hezir the priest mentioned in the Bible? Why the unknown non-biblical sons were given such a stupendous monument when they died? I wonder if the Hezir family ran out of money when it comes to carving inscription. Bnei means son of and is widely used in Islamic world as well. You can find this as Ibn or Ibnu in Middle East and Bin in the Austronesian in Southeast Asia version as used in Malaysia and Indonesia. The biblical link to Hezir is from two sources. The first source is from 1 Chronicles chapter 24, which mentions the 24 divisions of priests and Hezir is the number 17th division. This verse can be found in verse 15. Please take note that there is no mention about Hezir and his sons and definitely has nothing to do with any dead person. Another verse is Nehemiah chapter 10. It is verse 20 that mentions those who seal the covenant with Nehemiah. Macpiash, Meshullam, and Hezir are mentioned here. Again, there is no mention of Hezir and his sons. Doesn't sound like anything to do with death and burial. So here is the conundrum archaeologists are facing. The Bible didn't mention Hezir family having 8 sons. The family tree connection comes from a crude inscription discovered in 19th century, which could mean other Hezirs. When the cave tomb was discovered, there was no dead body. I think the cavity was already hollowed out by the unknown ancient builders, and a rich and priestly family came along and scribbled some simple inscription to lay claim for the use of their sons. Even archaeologists are cautious about this because there is no guarantee that this Hezir family of priests from the inscription is the same as the one mentioned in the Bible. Let's take a look at the cave layout. What are the odds that Jews in Israel would like to have creepy cavity hewn out of the bedrock as tombs for important or famous people? It would be more logical if they were digging soil with shovels and hoes. I find that the layout is disorganized, random chambers, and lacking in function is something not of human nature. If you compare tunnel systems from megalithic sites around the world, you can see that they are random in size and location. It doesn't look like something humans would architecturally carve out with chisels. If it is something very hard to do, then every cubic meter of space has to be calculatively removed to minimize wastage and maximize result. These bedrock diggers around the world share something in common. They don't like to dig soil because it is too easy. They only like bedrock. Their designs, when put in 3 dimensions, cannot explain the need. The level of difficulty to bury the sons of Hezir is 1,000,000 times compared to an awesome mausoleum above ground level. Dead bodies will decompose and is best kept in the soil underground, just like all the rest around Absalom's tomb, Zechariah's tomb, and sons of Hezir tomb. If the deceased is a very important figure, you don't just wrap him in cloth and put him in an open chamber. The sons of Hezir is assumed to be noble and priestly and deserves a great cave chamber for burial. But that is just according to the flimsy carving on the top of the facade. The entrance is actually from the top, as you can see from the ladder. This makes the cavity very hard to access. Look at the top of the wall. It has curved striations with even gap. They are long and definitely from a machine that rakes the bedrock vertically in a curved motion. Then you have the mysterious random rectangular hole that makes no sense to further prove my point that someone else was here first. You can find the exact tool mark in Dumna Cave at Ellora Caves number 29 in India. These 2 even gap striations with a curve cannot be a coincidence. Both Indian and Jewish civilizations millennium ago did not have the tools to produce this kind of tool mark. I can prove to you beyond reasonable doubt that someone else was here first. The random and mysterious rectangular holes are the secrets hidden in plain sight. These are nicely done niches and holes, but yet serve no purpose. This is hardly human behavior displayed at megalithic sites around the world. There is also another thing odd about this whole idea of a tomb. The entrance from the north on top is oddly steep and doesn't feel like something humans would do to bury the important and rich people. You have to wonder what were the Jews thinking when it comes to burying sons of awesome priests. The entrance from the side next to Zechariah's tomb was a recent addition to the tomb. In summary, this whole idea of ancient biblical tomb remains debatable. To prove my point, this chamber system in a cave was known as Cave of St. James. This map is dated 1858, so that means it wasn't too long ago. You would have been studying a different history and still believe that it has something to do with St. James. In fact, you can go back as far as 1587, where Italians will tell you it was Grotto of St. James. I just wonder how come it took the Italians to tell the Jews what it was, and it was believed as such only to change it to Sons of Hezir because of a crude and unimpressive inscription suspiciously done by someone much later. Well, that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed this short presentation on Sons of Hezir's tomb and have a wonderful day. This is Berniong signing out. Lahid Traot.